bags are packed, are you ready to go? This time tomorrow we'll be on the road, riding with you in the sunnier days. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another chapter of Children of Éarte. We're so excited to see you, hopefully with better internet today. But first, of course, we're going to move it over to Adam, who will share with us about our sponsors.
Our great sponsors were just so much power last week. They knocked out the internet. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can grab a chest code in chat or on the overlay there. Thank you, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. We also have Die Hard Dice. You can use the code Éarte to get 10% off your order. And I think we're also doing a giveaway in chat, so pay attention there and get, I think, $25 off that potential 10% off order that you can get. So many goodies with that. And they have supplied our cast with, we are on the Fs. No, sorry. L's.
Oh, yeah.
I had F on the mind. I don't know. So L, and this is, they have supplied our cast with Lamentation Lariats.
What?
Wow. Lamentation Lariats. Thanks, Marcus Reedner. Yeah.
I'll go with it. Sure.
Yeah, it started with L's. All right. And finally, tonight, you will hear the dulcet tones of Sirenscape because epic games need epic sound. And if you were here for the last hour, for On the Éarte. Thank you for joining us for that. We had the wonderful Alicia on that. And, be sure that you hydrate. I hope you were able to get up and stretch and get ready for all epicness that is about to happen. I'm Adam Bradford, the CDO at Demiplane, and I am playing a very hurt at the moment Silas Jordan.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. All right. As Adam said, everybody, I'm Alicia Marie. You can find me on socials at Alicia Marie Body. I'm a costume artist, and it's almost Halloween, so I'm pretty much a crazy person right now. I'm like, it's almost Halloween. Anyway, on Monday nights, you can catch me on the Glass Cannon Network for a Traveler series we call Voyages of the Jump. Tuesdays, I'm here. Fridays, I have Radiant Stories with Lauren as Jem and also with Jen as well. And soon I'll be hosting the Crown Channel's Crown Cosplay Show on some Fridays. So I'm really excited about it. It's like I get to talk about making cosplays and helping people who are trying to get into cosplay as well. So that's something I'm really excited about and passionate about. Tonight, I am playing Moose Whisperer Fairuza, Armstrong, attorney at law.
To say, Alicia, you're like, I imagine for a cosplayer and a costume maker, September is like March for an accountant. It's just like, prepping.
It's ridiculous because you get people messaging you like, mid-September, can you make me a costume for Halloween? I was like, 2023, sure.
Amazing.
I am Jen Kretchmer. You can find me on Twitter as @DreamWisp. You can find me streaming on Twitch as DreamWispJen. I stream there Mondays. Tuesdays, I am here. Wednesdays, I am on Play Renegade, playing some vampire. Fridays, I am on Radiant Stories with some of these lovely folks. And tonight, I will be playing your friendly neighborhood troublemaker, Maeve Morgan Flynn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the content coordinator over at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can find me on Twitter as OboLauren. You can find me tomorrow playing a character that I don't know if any of you know, the little dragonborn cleric named Orkira. Yeah, we're doing a one-shot on the Idle Champions channel, and Orkira is going to get to play with Gosrick, Voronika, and Nahara. And we're fighting Vecna, apparently. It's called Vecna Lives. You might want to come on by. Aaron M. Evans is the DM for that show.
Alert.
Well, the game is called Vecna Lives.
Vecna
so I'm like,
Lives? Way to give it
Okay.
away.
I know, right? Right? It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be
Spoiler
fine.
alert.
Oh.
It's gonna be absolutely fine. Like tonight, where I'm playing Neb, who is absolutely fine.
Hi, I'm Hope LaVelle. You can follow me on Twitter at the Hope LaVelle. Tonight, I will be playing Miss Robin Beckett, who is really like racking in all the scars that she's got. Let's see, she's got a crushed arm. She's got her overalls have like a thing, just a hole in them that need to be patched now, thanks to the ichor, and she's lost a boot. So she's not looking too good.
So
Boy.
lost the boot equals broken heart.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's exactly
right.
it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Samson
and-
kept his power in his hair. Robin keeps her power in her boot.
Yes. And I am unfortunately the one responsible for all of this pain. I am Deborah Ann Woll. I am your storyteller for this evening. Unlike the rest of you, I am here and only here on Tuesdays. But very excited always. It takes me all week to make sure I have enough power to take you all down. So yes, welcome everyone. Thank you, players, for being here once again, and everyone at home, please settle in for the 19th chapter of Children of Éarte. So we're going to do a little recap from last episode, since we did have some technical difficulties and we're not sure how much everybody caught of the half hour that we played. So we'll sort of bring this around the clock and have everybody sort of explain what happened. So at the very beginning of our last time, you all had come down the tunnel and begun this fight with these crawling creatures, and the ichor, the ooze, was coming after you. At the beginning of this, the Fairuza, you were on the other side. You're the only one who like leaped across to the other side of this river, this pool of ichor, and it had reached out to try to grab you and missed. Up next, we had Silas. Silas, what did you do?
Silas heroically tried to scramble around and find a rock. And after, picking out just the perfect rock, Neb was like, no, my rock's better. And Silas is like, yeah, I think that's true. And so he grabbed Neb's special meteor rock or something. I don't know. It's glowy and it has like rainbow colors in it. And so then he took that and he started to try to scrape the ichor off of her leg, because he knew enough to not touch the ichor directly, because apparently it hurts.
Nice.
And he got the ichor off of the rock, but then flung the rock into the side of the wall or something over there, because he was basically like goo, and just kind of like threw it after that.
Correct. Robin, I believe you were next.
Oh, yes. And then Robin, seeing that Neb was in good hands, totally taken care of, Robin turns around, flicks another rubber band that burst into flames at the ooze that was attacking Fairuza, and hit it for 6 points of fire damage.
Yes, and at the time, I think we actually saw the level of the ooze go down. So we felt like, ooh, that really made some headway. Maeve, you were up next after having seen that.
Yes, I had made a makeshift blowtorch out of hairspray and a lighter, and it had been very effective previously. And this time, I stepped forward and tried to kind of part the ichor like the Red Sea, and it seemed like it was going to close me in, and so I decided nope, it's a bit cold, and stepped back and instead tried to attack it, but it managed to dodge me and get out of the way.
It does not like
nimble ooze.
That heat, yes. Then we come back to Neb, who, although the ooze, the ichor here, has been removed from your leg, you'd notice that there were these pustules that were sort of hardening, filling up with pus on the wound of your leg.
Yeah, and I'd seen that happen a couple times to some other people, and I'd already felt like, oh, this is going to be bad in the long run. And all right, I'm just going to take care of this. And so I lit up my hand and I'm like, gonna cauterize this wound. Gotta stop it. I don't care how disgusting it is and how much it hurts. And that's the last thing I remember.
Yes. So Neb attacked herself, basically, successfully cauterized her wound. However, in your unconscious state, I believe this sort of a poison from these little pustules began to seep into your blood system. All right, next up we have the mini ichor that was on the stone, sort of lying at the edge of the tunnel here next to Silas. Silas, as you'd been watching it, had been sort of pulsing and growing and moving just a little bit. And just as you were looking over, this sort of stringy arm reached out and wrapped itself around your leg. It caused even some crushing, bludgeoning damage as it sort of, constricted its grip around your leg, as well as you're beginning to feel the acid damage. Now, this is the other leg than the first one that had been damaged. So, boy, Robin, you're going to have a lot of sewing to do. At this point, we get back around to Fairuza.
Oh yeah, and so Fairuza sees Neb go down and she screams, "Neb!" And then she just sort of looks down at the ichor and she's like, "What do you want?" Starting to feel really just upset in general. And as she starts to feel this like feeling inside of her, she just starts turning electric. Her eyes start flashing, and it's like instinctively she just somehow knows to put her hands together, and as she pulls them apart, it's almost like static electricity in her fingers, and she just aims her hands at the pool of ichor that she was just sort of raging over a second ago. And we're using daggers as the mechanics, basically.
Yes.
So it's like this, like sort of, and she was able to, luckily, thanks to the roll, she was able to actually just hit the ichor because she had it's like, what do you do? There's a fire. Let's shoot the fire. She didn't know what to do. So the first thing she thought was, throw this static electricity at the ooze. And so she was successful in hitting it.
The most amazing thing happened, and all of you except for Neb are watching this go down. And as one of these sort of daggers flies wide and misses, the second one, as you said, lands and seems to actually submerge into the remaining pool of ichor. As it does, it's almost like the polarity of the ichor shifts, and you watch it as it almost sort of drips up into the air, becoming less and less condensed. And as it does, it sort of disperses into nothing. The ichor disappearing into the air around you. That's where we land. We can go back around up now to, hold on, Fairuza. We go back up to Silas, I believe, yes? So Silas, you have this mini ooze wrapped around, mini ichor wrapped around your leg, but you have seen that Fairuza has sort of conquered the larger pool. That pool now is empty. At the bottom, all you see is glittering gold.
But there isn't a it's not like it goes into some kind of hole.
No,
it's solid ground. Okay,
solid ground made of just filled with gold.
So presumably the coconut oil that Silas suspended over that, is that still there or is it gone?
That got subsumed, yes.
Okay. So does Silas think that there is any kind of like, Adam doesn't know how it feels to have this pseudopod wrapped around your leg. Does he feel like if taking off his pants would release him?
No, it feels like this has already seeped through your pants. You're feeling the burn on your flesh. The hair is getting singed off beneath it. It feels like a snake. It has kind of that, a crushing, sneaking, snaky kind of feel.
Okay.
As I said last time, if Silas has seen the blob,
yeah,
that is what Silas is thinking of.
Yeah, and he has, and so he knows that touching it's going to make it worse. So he is going to. Is Neb's rock around, or did this thing attack him from a distance?
The Neb's rock is right there. It has left Neb's rock and totally globbed onto you. So
Silas is going to try to grab her rock again and see if he can use it to try to pry this thing. He's just trying to escape the grapple at this stage.
Gotcha.
It's a good rock.
I think we'll go with your sleight of hand like we did last time.
Okay.
I believe that's what we did. We'll find out. sleight
That
of
sounds
hand.
favorable to me.
Hey,
Okay.
I like being favorable
Yes.
to you.
Are you sure? No.
Yeah.
So
I beat you guys up a lot. I can be generous.
that's just a 16.
Just a 16. All right, let's see. Hey, it beats me. So yeah. So Silas, as you again, you've done this once before. So as you sort of
Old hand at
Oh
it.
yeah. You're really good at scraping ichor off of legs right now.
With-
Put it on the resume.
Yeah.
You sort of begin to scrape this thing off, and you can see as it's sort of piling up on the end of this rock. It's not a very big rock, right, Neb?
Oh no, it's palm-sized at
Yeah.
best. It's not sharp, but it's a little weirdly shaped, and you can tell that it's black and it's got this kind of rainbowish sheen to it
Mhm.
if you look at it in just the right light.
So yeah, there's not a ton of like finger room, but you're being very careful, and you can see it trying to reach around to get to your fingers, but you are just nimble enough to keep your fingers out of the way, and you're able to scrape the entirety of this thing off. What do you want to
Gonna
do?
sling the rock again.
Where are you going to fling it now?
Same place, like
Same
against the
place?
wall, and then
It's-
Silas is gonna try to back up, like
Okay.
shuffle backwards.
Um,
And there might be, slightly higher pitch than normal, squealing going on, potentially.
potentially echoing through this. Oh dear, hold on. Uh-oh. Great.
Hey, it's really what would happen. So.
It echoes through the chamber as you throw this thing to the side. For sake of argument, can we say you fling it at least 10 feet away from
Yeah.
any other person?
Yeah, I definitely would not want it getting near anyone else.
Gotcha. So you fling it, we're going to say, back down the tunnel in the direction that you all came from, so that there's at least 10 feet, between it and the rest of you.
Well, actually, if it's back the
Yeah.
tunnel, so the tunnel, I don't know how far that is, but how far we have come in at this point.
Right. It's
But
quite.
if-
It's a good ways. You've
Okay,
come in
so
a good ways.
Silas is gonna chunk it. Then. Like he is going to.
Athletics check, please.
He is going to
Let's
basically.
see how that
and
hard
he's
ball.
got- And basically, as this happens in between the squeals, he finally calms down and he's like, "Otani comes to the mound, the 1-2 pitch," and that is going to be an 18.
An 18. Just disappears. You barely hear it clatter somewhere off in the dark there.
I'll get you another rock, Neb.
It is way off down there. You're not sure where it landed, but you had a good arm on that one. All right, we can leave initiative at this point. Neb is lying unconscious on the ground. What would you all like to do?
First, I mean, right away, Fairuza just gonna run straight for Neb and kneel down and just sort of lift her up a little bit into slightly seated position and just say,
Okay.
"You guys."
So Fairuza, you're on the other side of this crevice now. So you run down into where this pool was, scattering pieces of gold right and left as you just run across it
Whoa.
like it means nothing. There's even a little lip. I'm going to give this to you. You jump up, grabbing it with your fingers. You're still all hyped up and electric, right? Pulling yourself up like a pull-up up onto the tunnel in front of you to reach Neb and cradle her.
Neb, you guys, I don't think she's okay.
All
this is
right. Yeah, I have a first aid kit. Let me see.
Okay.
Neb. All right. Okay. I'm gonna slightly tap her on the cheek. Neb.
You see Silas is just coming over at this point, and he's holding his hand out,
Yeah.
and he's trying to concentrate, and it's I can't do it. I think I'm spent. I don't know, and he's just saying random words heal, go Webb, and and all this stuff, and nothing's happening.
Nothing's happening. So Robin, would you like to do a medicine check?
Yes, I'll be applying Neosporin. And,
Yeah.
I have it. It's on my list.
All the
I'm gonna-
things that the granny
Assist
Uh,
with this and help provide bandages and things.
Absolutely.
From my medicine kit.
Yep. Add her. What is your base modifier for that?
It's a +1.
Plus one.
Okay.
I love you're gonna come at my leg and like
And-
it's the little tiny thing of neosporin,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like it's most of my leg is just like burnt and charred. It's like, is that a bone there? Yeah, probably.
And then Silas is going to say, Miss Robin, I'm completely out of gas, but I know I'm sure that you did this in like, I don't know, World War I or something. I'm sure, and so it's going to be some inspiration there. And the way that this works though is you can add this to the amount healed. As
Okay.
well, if there's any healing
Okay.
there, or to the check itself, whichever one you choose.
Okay, I'll put it towards the heal because it's a 23.
A 23. Yeah, absolutely. You tap Neb on the cheek, and Neb just flickers her eyes a little bit, little twitch in her mouth. You can see she's starting to come to.
Neb, are you okay?
Neb? Okay.
Is everyone else okay? Can I go back to sleep now?
Ish.
It's okay. You can rest. You can rest. It's
Probably gonna need to rest.
Not
We should
for
all
very
rest.
long because
Yeah.
we can't stay here forever.
Oh, we still here?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no.
that's a good
I
point.
I can stay and rest with Neb if you all
No,
want
no,
to try to get the puzzle.
No, we
piece.
shouldn't. The last time we split the party, things were bad. Just
Well, the last time that we went anywhere with the party, it was really bad. Actually,
Yeah,
just
true.
not to put too fine a point on it.
Okay, but
I
if
don't
it's
want to
gonna-
go to any parties right now.
I mean,
The
if
rat
I go-
party was trouble.
No, the
And
rat
it's been
party
nothing
was
but trouble
great.
since.
The rat party was wonderful. There was food and dancing, and yeah, and
Food?
Oh, is that?
Did you eat at the rat party?
No, I took the, and you can see that Neb is like trying not to look at her leg right now. I rescued the bug, and then I tried to talk with it, and then it was a bug.
I'm really glad you're talking. Just to clarify this though, too. So you have like just a satchel full of those rocks, right?
Oh, no, that's. Well, do you still have the one I gave you?
Yeah, it's somewhere around here.
Okay, I'll find it. I always do. What
that's
did?
true.
Did the medicine check just bring her back to
So
one?
the medicine check would stabilize her.
Okay.
You'd have to have some sort of healing, piece to
Yeah.
some sort of thing to get the extra D6 for that.
Okay, cool.
So I'm still kind of like drifting
You're at
around
1.
0 and just...
You're at 1 HP, just kind of trying to hold on to the light.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pack my kid up, and I want to go look at the gold.
Okay.
Yes.
So Maeve, yeah, as you sort of slide down there, you can give me an investigation check.
It's a dirty 20.
It's a dirty 20. It looks real to you, and there is a lot of it. In fact, as you start to dig a little bit, you feel like there's a good at least 2 feet more. I mean, you're digging and you're not finding a bottom to all of this gold.
And this is in raw ore form.
Yep.
Right?
It is not inside rock. This is sort of post having been kind of released from the rock. Just pure gold.
It's just like nuggets all over the place.
Nuggets, just a pool, like what is the duck?
Oh,
yeah,
Scrooge McDuck.
And
It's
coins.
like, I mean, those are coins. These are nuggets. These are still in their organic form, but it is a massive pool of gold. You could swim in if you were a duck.
If you wanted to.
If you were a duck. Don't get any ideas.
Yeah.
It's just a figure of speech.
I'm still working on standing up. Okay, I'm not going swimming anytime soon.
Yeah, don't rush. And then she sort of like Fairuza's gonna offer her arm. Yeah, just you're okay.
Yeah.
You're breathing. You're here.
Yeah. It's yeah. Thank you. Thanks, and I'll take your arm. And I'm just not on that leg at all. I'm just gonna be on one leg, lean up against you, and I'll look down at Rob and say thanks for the. I'm just not gonna look at it, but I trust that you got it patched up because I'm sure it's bad. But
Hey, listen, everyone. I don't know if Neb can travel like this, and I don't know if I can travel like this, and he points down at both of his legs right now. So I think we're gonna have to try to carve out some time to rest or something here.
Well,
yes, let's stay in the room with the creepy crawly things.
Hey,
and the
listen, I'm
hostages and-
fine for us to go back and for you all to keep going toward this, but like I'm just saying, the moment that we walk in there, if one of the creepy crawlies come out and they breathe on us,
Yeah.
like we're like dead.
Yeah.
no one should go alone because we know there's still at least one of those Morlock things out there, and
We do?
Yeah, I'm not talking about going alone. I'm saying that
didn't one of them get through?
So you
like,
can
left?
see the bodies of 4. The 5th one fell back into the hole that they came out of, but you haven't heard anything from her.
She's hiding. She knows we're still in here.
I mean, we haven't been very quiet.
Not at all.
I mean,
Not at all.
I'm just as guilty as everybody. I'm sure I was kind of loud.
what? Why is everybody looking at me?
Your words probably kept a bunch of us alive, so I'm not gonna fault you for being loud.
Serious. Whoa. Did you guys wait a minute? Back
Are
up.
these?
Maeve. And Fru's just gonna turn around and she looks at this giant pool of gold and Maeve like walking in it.
Maeve might have put a couple of pieces in her pockets.
Maeve, roll a d12. Let's use the little used die here.
Yeah.
9.
You got 9 nuggets of gold.
Robin is
It's about all you can fit in your pocket.
Robin is also gonna pick some up and put some in her pocket. This may come in handy later. You never know.
Robin, roll a d12.
Especially if we meet up with more of that ooze, because it can't eat through this, right?
Oh my god.
Oh
Yeah,
snap!
hey, let's make a suit of armor out of it.
How much you get, Robin?
I got 10.
You got 10. You got 10 nuggets of gold, Robin.
Does anybody know how to be a blacksmith?
Robin?
I mean, maybe if I had some tools.
I mean, I watched a YouTube video one time, but I don't know if I could do it. But we totally should just wear armor that.
Out of gold?
Sure, these things can't get through gold.
But you know what can?
We need to rest.
Anything
We need to
else.
smelt.
Yeah, smelter. Wait a minute. What am I talking about? I'm sorry, I'm just getting
Gold
it.
is like, it's one of the softest metals. It's not going to do much in terms of reinforcing.
Well, it certainly would help if
Against
we run into
anything
more
else.
ichor, wouldn't it?
It's not going to and it's not going to protect our hands or our faces or any of
Don't
the other
touch it
vital
with your
areas.
hands or your faces.
It'll look really cool, but will be soft and squishy. That's what she means.
I mean, I pat Fairuza's arm. I'm already soft and squishy. At least I'd be shiny, right?
At least you look really good and you look expensive. Do you guys think this is real gold? Like really real gold?
I take it and I press my, like maybe even my ring into it to
Mhm.
see if it imprints.
Not knowing enough about gold, it does exactly what
Oh,
gold
it's
would
really
do.
soft. So it would. Yeah,
It would
that's-
imprint.
The
There you
test for
go.
gold is pure gold is like soft enough that you can mark it with a fingernail.
There you go. It responds as gold should respond.
What?
Oh no, it's fake. Just pyrite.
Well,
How?
do we think we were hoping that the clue was going to be in here? Do we think it's under all the
Oh
the
yeah,
gold?
yeah. That's a great
Seems to
idea.
be.
And Silas is going to seriously, telekinetically start to just sweep gold in every direction and try to like cover every single square inch of this. And he's just with his mind trying to see if he can read something on the floor.
Okay.
Nice.
So as you begin to do this, you're seeing it's even deeper than Maeve had originally dug. As you're sort of flying things around, you're down 2 feet, 3 feet. This is a deep well of gold.
What? And it's already been mined by someone or something?
Or we know that the ichor eats through everything except gold and some other metals. So if this was a vein and ooze has just been sitting here.
been
Yeah, that's
sitting
all I
here.
got. I'm sorry. That's as far as I can go.
Is
Neb blinks slowly.
Yeah.
Slowly.
is this the
Oh.
area that the other crew had? They came this way. Is that-
This has definitely been mined up to. This is a tunnel created, connected
Right.
to the main system.
but is Silas and the others? They came from that direction on their first try, and
They
got
came from
here.
the other side and kind of burst through a
So,
hidden tunnel.
We've
Yeah.
seen all of this. It's all been covered. Then we to our understanding.
This area,
Mhm.
yes, they've been here before, but of course, previous to this battle, the Ichor was covering this.
Yeah.
Pool of gold was covered in
Yeah.
a pool of
And
But
we
here-
were
here-
running.
and you
here's
yes,
the
they were going
thing.
fast.
Here's the thing, everyone. Listen,
What?
I saw this. It's one of the, it might be the best video game that's ever been made, but this is probably the droppings of the Ichor. Like, it's probably not even real gold. It's like golden poop.
Ichor poo
Ew.
And
Silas?
title.
honestly, like,
Tinker poo. That's fun to say.
it makes sense, right? This is where they lived. And so all I'm saying is, as deep as that is, unless Steve or whoever did all this, it's very doubtful that they would be this kind of masochist. And so, but what I'm worried about is in the shape that, and I'm not even going to say Neb, because Neb, you may be fully confident that you can tackle the challenges ahead. I'm going to speak for myself that this is going to be super, super dangerous if we run into any more of those creatures on our way to this thing, unless we are a little bit better prepared than maybe we were that time.
That's true.
Agreed.
I'm definitely down. I mean, as far as how I feel right now, I've been hit a few times, so I could definitely use a sit down for a minute. And I definitely don't mind sitting in our newly acquired pile of gold. And Fairuza just wants to sit down in it for a second and be like, oh,
Yeah.
this is crazy. Do you think they know this is here?
They who?
Yeah, where are
Good
they going to
question.
spend it? I would be excited about seeing that much gold, except like in our actual world. Like, I'm pretty rich already, but so
So modest.
I don't need the gold. Yeah, I got, money's not a problem. I will give you all bunches of money when we make it back to our world. Like, even if that makes everybody more motivated to get back there, I will give you all bunches of money. So it's
Bunches
less
of money.
it's
Bunches
less
of Ichor poo.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, I don't know, like, maybe this gold is spendable in a world like this. And so maybe if we take a little bit of it with us when we get,
Yeah.
I think there was like a town on this tour. What if there are actual people or something resembling people in the town? They might want some kind of, bartering system in
It
place.
might not use the dollars from where we come from, you think?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Strong
saying. So
idea that we're in a
yeah,
place
so
that
let's
doesn't
take a
use
little
our
bit of
money.
gold just in case. But otherwise, like, I can't be too excited because we might not ever make it back to be able to spend that.
Oh, so
Don't even
that's why
say
you're
that.
promising us bunches of money. So
Well,
you
yeah,
never
but-
have to pay it out.
I mean, if you want it in writing, I'll give you bunches of money if we make it back.
I'll take
because
it in writing.
honest,
Sure.
Bunches.
sure.
And we have a lawyer here who can draw up the contracts.
Let's do it while we're sitting here and recovering a little bit. I'm perfectly
Fair
fine with
enough. I will
we
take
wanna
a
discuss-
contract.
Oh,
overseen
contracts.
by
My
Fairuza
firm can definitely
from
handle.
Silas
Yeah.
about getting bunches of money
I
when we
will-
return to the real world.
I'm gonna lean over to Robin and say, Miss Robin, how much do you think is in a bunch of money? Is that like a bunch of wheat? Is that like a
Like a honey bunches of oats.
oh,
That's-
like
I
a
would love some
box,
honey
so-
bunches of oats
like a
right now.
cereal box,
like a
of
cereal.
money.
Yes.
I'm assuming there's an official definition under the law of what bunches of money.
I mean, what
is.
do you
Yes.
think bunches
Fairuza
of
types
money
into the goggle, bunches $2.
$2.
Listen, I came into, let's say, a very rare and very expensive piece of artwork one time in my life, and I sold said piece of artwork for a very, very large sum. And that's why I get to just hang around at a comic and game store all day. So like, I mean, I do like money's like not a thing. So if we can make it back, I will give you bunches of money. Like whatever you think bunches is, like we can set you up with bunches of money.
I love that he
Seven
keeps
bunches.
saying bunches. Maybe I'm just getting feverish, but it makes it funnier every single time.
Well, all I know is that after we're done with all this, we're gonna have to sit down as a group and discuss book rights. Obviously. Movie rights, all that stuff.
That's fair.
I won't allow anybody to play me unless, you know, like a very short list of people to play me. Otherwise, I'm going to do it myself.
Oh, you think it would be live action? I definitely think
Yes.
this would be an animated. I mean, the things that we've been doing, the CGI on that would be really, really
It would be
expensive. It would
expensive.
take
Oh.
it would take
Oh.
bunches of money to do
It would
that.
take bunches of money to get like the
Silas,
people.
Well,
That's
maybe I'm
right.
an executive producer.
Can I
Silas,
be
you could
played
be
by?
played
So this
by
is a
Michael
reality
Jordan,
show.
and everyone else could be animated.
Yes, that's exactly right.
He is a
mean,
lot.
like-
He has a history of that.
We have to make it back soon enough because Michael Jordan is getting very old at this point. And so like he still looks good for 60, okay? But what I'm saying is like gotta make sure that we get back at least within the next couple of years before he starts going downhill.
So wait a minute. You want Michael Jordan to play you in this movie, Silas?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, can I have
Okay.
Meryl Streep? I would love
Yes.
Meryl Streep.
I love her.
Oh my God.
She can play
Michael
all of
Jordan
us.
and Meryl Streep in a movie? Please.
That's a good
Oh,
idea.
and
Oh,
Meryl
it's
Streep in all the other roles.
I mean, she's way taller than I am, but I've always really liked Tilda
Oh.
Swinton. Can I get?
Oh.
Can we just
Yes.
lie and say that I'm tall
Oh
enough?
no, they can just do that like Lord of the Rings trick, like we're the hobbits.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
easy.
And Ian
Or
McKellen
Elf.
is I'm
course,
trying to
Beckett.
help you, Frodo Baggins.
It's a good thing you have bunches of money to make that happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
We
go
can-
find my rock, and Neb just starts to wander up towards
Start in
where
the
the
other
last
direction?
time that she saw the rock, which was
Okay.
There she
against
goes
the
again.
wall.
Yeah. You're gonna start looking. Andy Serkis would play all the monsters.
Oh yes.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I actually would watch this very happily.
I would. I'm like,
Hollywood, are you listening?
Silas, where'd
Dear
you
Hollywood,
where'd you throw
will you
my
please
movie
make a
from?
movie of our
so-
Dungeons and Dragons characters going on an adventure?
Starring Michael Jordan and Meryl
Sorry.
Streep and Andy Serkis and Tilda Swinton.
Hey, listen,
Oh.
stranger things have happened.
No.
They did.
Four
Silas?
times.
Yeah, it was just a little way down here. Neb, if you want me to go get it, I mean, it might have been like way down there. So I mean, I can go get it for you, and I'll be right back.
Well, sure. And
It's okay.
But-
she just looks like thinking is
Yeah.
hard, and she's gonna
Yeah.
start to hobble her way up the.
Neb has lost all her color. She's just
Oh.
very pale, and her lips are a little blue, and moving slow, foggy.
Oh.
But I'm looking. I'll turn on my fire fist, and I'm gonna start.
Start
looking.
making your way down the tunnel.
Yeah.
Buddy
Neb.
system. Buddy system.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going with her, but I mean,
Okay.
like Neb, like
Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, are you sure you're okay? Because
No,
I mean,
of course not. Have you seen my leg? I'm trying not to look at it.
well, maybe just sit down and rest for just a second. And Fairuza, big strong Fairuza, can come with Silas to find the rock, right?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. That's what. And she's sort of feeling around the gold, and she stands up. She's like, "Okay, I can. We can come back. to
It'll
this."
still be here. It'll still be here when we get back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll
sure.
definitely
And
come with you.
I'll just sit down. I'm like already
Okay.
3 or 4 feet up the tunnel. I'll just
Yeah.
like
sit where you
slide
are.
down the side and just hold up my thumbs up on fire and be like, yeah, sure. That
Okay.
sounds good.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Maeve, Neb, and Robin are going to sort of stay together at the tunnel opening near the pool of gold. And Fairuza and Silas are going to head back down the tunnel towards
Mhm.
the fastball rock.
I'm
Icar
really
rock.
starting to hate the specificity that you're putting behind this summary of the situation because it
Yeah.
feels like there's something loaded here. But yes,
I just
that-
want to
that-
be clear.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Your
it.
idea.
I'm sure the high pitched shrieking didn't
Yeah.
draw.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
anyone
left out
to
the
us.
high pitched shrieking.
It's gonna be totally safe for us with the creatures that respond to sound.
Oh, great.
All right. Fairuza and Silas, you start
Yes.
to make your way off into the darkness, and pretty quickly, even with your headlamps, you start to sort of lose each other. You can look back and just see the light of your friends, but nothing in between. There's this dark void between yourselves and the rest of your party.
Yeah, and so Fairuza, listen, I yeeted this thing. Like I threw it like
Where did you throw the rock?
I don't know. Like it was like one of the best throws I've ever done. It didn't even hurt my elbow. And so yeah, I chunked it. And so I hope that we can find it. And if we don't, I'm wondering, I don't know if you've got any makeup on you or anything that can make it look like rainbow colored. Where if we found a rock that was close, like approximated.
Silas, are you trying to tell me that you threw the rock? You have no idea where you threw it.
Well, no,
You're
I mean, it's
hoping
in
we
this
find it?
tunnel. Like it's in the tunnel. Like, I mean, it definitely didn't, I didn't throw it through the rock wall or anything. Like it's somewhere in this tunnel.
Did you overhand or did you underhand the rock?
Oh, it was overhand. I mean, it was like, Showtime Otani. Like it was 2.58 ERA kind of stuff, right?
All right, so we're basically feeling around in the dark here. And under you don't think Neb's gonna notice if we pick up a random rock here and try to paint it to look like her own rock? Can you imagine what a nightmare that would be?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad idea. As soon as I said it, I knew it was. But so as this is going on, though, Silas is, and he does also, like at this point, he like kind of lights up the ring, and starts to try to
your green ring is flickering at a slightly slower pace now than it did before.
Oh, no.
You're starting to it's lagging a little.
I try to tell you, Fairuza, that we should have conserved the battery back when you were just flippantly playing with the ring.
I did not realize we were going to be stuck here post a rat party. Pardon me.
Yeah, I mean, like we're probably stuck here forever, to be honest.
Okay, I don't want to
like,
hear that.
Well, no, listen, I can tell that you're really pragmatic. And I think that we need to start, I think we've got some dreamers in this group.
I think we do have some dreamers in this group.
Yeah, and I think that we might need to start just managing expectations is all I'm trying to say.
What do you mean managing expectations? Like making sure everyone knows that we're doomed or not?
I mean, yeah, that's what I meant. Like that is a way worse way to put it. And don't put it that way to the dreamers that I'm talking about. But I mean, I think we're in trouble, like seriously, because we haven't even had a single mirror shard. We've been here for days. And I don't even remember how many mirror shards there are.
Wait a minute. I forgot about the mirror shards. I've been too focused on finding the last word.
Exactly.
We are screwed. Don't share this with the others.
I mean, no. It's just between you and me. Like we are just completely boned.
Perception checks from both of you, please.
Can you roll it for me? It's a 0 for Silas.
It's a 0 for Silas. Gotcha.
Oh boy.
What do you got? 5. The two of you are super absorbed in this conversation that you're having. You are just, one-on-one with this kind of walking around. As this happens, Fairuza, you gesture with your hand, accidentally hitting the wall on the side, and you feel something a little sticky on your hand. As you pull it away, a little bit of skin, 2 acid damage gets pulled away. As you begin to clutch it and turn and look, you can see stuck to the wall is a glob of ichor. Inside this glob of ichor is Neb's stone. It pulses, stretching out, growing slowly and slowly. You can see again a little sort of tendril of it is trying, it senses you and it's just sort of starting to reach out.
No, Fairuza, like back away slowly. Maybe it can't see motion or see unless you're moving.
This little tail it just sort of, moves around in front of your face, Fairuza, as you sort of pull back out of its reach.
I'm sure Neb will get over it. It's just a rock.
It is just a rock, but it's encased in like a Gila monster or something. I'm just going to step back a little. No,
that's what was on my leg, Neb's leg. I mean, it's got a thing for legs. It's about to get your leg.
Okay. it doesn't have eyeballs, so it can't see. So what it's doing is it's sensing us. Or maybe
Yeah, maybe pull out your axe and like electrify it. It's like, head on down to Electric Avenue, like do it and like kill it, and then we can recover the rock and we can be heroes.
Okay, but one thing I want to make sure of, there's nothing else on the walls around us, right? We aren't about to like completely aggro walls of Ichor.
Well, it's just a little bit.
You see, this is the only spot that you see in this area.
Okay. All right. So we're going to try to dissolve this, right? It's not going to jump off the wall.
Listen, like if it
I mean, it's reaching. Again, it's this little sort of tendril
if it smacks
that's
me
starting
again,
to come out
Fairuza,
closer.
then you're going to have to carry me back. Like, I think you can do it. Like, I've seen some impressive feats of strength, but I'm pretty heavy. I'm just telling you that.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to carry you back, like a piggyback or something?
Yeah, no, like I am spent.
Like a toad unfurling its tongue. It tries to, reach out really quick. I need dexterity saving throws from both of them.
Okay. Kill it.
I knew it.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh. Advantage on dex.
Yep, go ahead.
Need it. I have natural 21.
And for you, Silas?
23.
You both jump aside as it comes through. Both of you sort of looking at each other, bend back. You can see it pass between your faces as it really quick is then retracted. It doesn't seem like it can stay, sort of pushed out, but it can kind of do this quickly. And then it just, again, slowly can expand its size a little bit at a time.
Back away, but you get close and kill it with an axe.
Okay, I'll try the axe. I'll do that. Let me just focus on what it is. I can do this. Okay.
You're gonna attack Fairuza?
Yeah, she's like,
give me an attack roll.
And as this is, well, I don't know if we're in initiative or not. Can I inspire her?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. We're not
So,
super in initiative.
yeah,
It's basically you guys versus it. We'll go back.
And then Silas is basically like, we can be heroes forever and ever. And he just starts singing it very, very softly. He's like, we can be heroes forever and ever.
All right, you are inspired, Fairuza. You can add a d6
Plus
to this
1d6.
roll.
yay! Okay.
Or you can add it to damage. Either the attack or damage.
Ooh.
The choices. We're gonna add it to the attack.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, and she's gonna bring her axe up and go, we're so done with you! And she's gonna swing the axe. Oh, wow!
You ate my phone.
24.
Yay!
Digital dice 24 plus, you said a d6.
Well, you can
Doesn't
choose
matter.
after you roll, though. So if you think 24 is already good, you can add it to damage. You can add the die after you roll.
Hold it for your damage. It definitely hits. 24.
Let's see. Well, 7 plus. Oops, wait. Let me get this. I'll roll it on my own dice. 7 plus 4.
So 11 total?
11. Yep.
Your axe comes down, splits it in two. As it does, the whole thing kind of sizzles. And as your axe hits the rock inside, it causes a spark, which eats up the rest of the ichor. And it disappears into the air. The rock
that was amazing.
drops to the ground at your feet.
How did you find that rock out of all of this?
I actually reached out to touch the wall to figure out where we were, and it took my skin off, and I need a Band-Aid or something.
Just suck on it. It'll be fine.
No. I'll have to ask Robin if she has something in her bag when I get back here.
Silas picks up the rock
Yes.
telekinetically and does not touch the rock just in case.
Gotcha. As you begin to make your way back, the three of you who were sitting and supporting Neb as you waited basically just heard at a distance. And then and then a ding 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 ding, and now silence as they return with your rock floating ahead of them, Ned. You are back together.
Hey, you are heroes. This just for one day? Was that what you were singing?
I hope it's more than that because we're going to be here a long time. But Fairuza was incredible. She leapt into action. she didn't even really get hurt. She didn't, accidentally reach her hand out and get, hurt by putting it right on the creature or anything. And she just took her axe, just leapt right into action and destroyed it.
I tried.
amazing.
And her Neosporin and a Band-Aid.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Robin, look. It's really bad. Don't want to look at it, but if you have a Band-Aid, you can put it on it. Don't look.
He's got you covered there.
Okay.
Thank you for getting rid of that, because if we have to go back that way to go to our camp, now we don't have to worry about it, right?
We didn't see any more of the Ichor? We saw no more of that anywhere.
Yeah, I think the
only
Ichor
saw
is
the one.
gone.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But whatever is that way, wherever we have to go get this puzzle piece, then that's probably the thing that's going to kill us.
Silas mentioned that we have to manage expectations, so he's trying to dash your hopes and
Fairuza,
dreams so that you don't get too excited.
We said that was between us.
Oh, sorry. Never mind.
I mean, since everyone's looking at me awkwardly now, I was just saying that, we've been here a long time, and we have, not even found the first mirror shard. And I'm sure, so Maeve, do you remember how many mirror shards there actually are? Because I keep forgetting.
There are 5, is that right?
5 or 6, I don't remember either.
Yeah, I'm going
Wow.
back to check my notes in a second.
So I don't know, maybe finding the other ones will be easier. Maybe we come to the town and the town people are like, hey, we have a mirror shard. Do you happen to be looking for one of these? Here you go. And we might just get that from the town people after we sing them some songs and dance a little dance for them. But otherwise, this is going to take a very long time.
So basically be like the circus has come to town and hope they give us a mirror shard afterwards.
Hey, that's a great idea.
I like it.
Is there a circus here? I'd love to go to the circus.
No, we are
I'd
the
love
circus. Neb, we are the circus.
We are the circus.
I'm actually
She's
not
gonna
sure I
reach
have
it-
the exact number.
Everyone's a little delirious. You've been in the dark for a long time.
Hold on a second.
It's just starting to seep into us. Oh God.
If I pull, I don't have my phone anymore. Someone's got the map of the train route. Every spot on the map is a mirror shard.
I'm
Is its own
fairly
shard,
certain
so
there's
1,
5.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if that includes Gravelhurst Station.
Right.
Otherwise, it's
there's
5.
I'm pretty sure there's 5.
Yeah, 5 makes sense, because when we were looking at the back of the mirror that is destroyed, it was those spots, and there was 1 shard on
already.
on it. Yeah.
So, Silas, we do have one.
We do.
We have it. Oh, okay.
We started
Honestly, I think you were trying to burn me with that, but it does actually make me feel better that we do
I'm so
have
glad.
one. Yeah. So maybe we're not just completely without hope.
Exactly.
No, you're heroes, and you got my rock, and I'm gonna grab it out of the
swimming in
air.
a pile of gold.
Yeah,
In case
while you
we've
do
lost
that,
hope,
I am
then you want to
resting
go
for a
Recover
short
some of
time.
it. It's quite refreshing.
Yes.
Lifelong
Everyone
dream.
rests.
Probably
Everyone.
won't be able to do it ever again.
So sounds like everyone's gonna take an hour to rest and swim in gold.
Yes.
And
swim.
hopefully be quiet.
And
Rush.
basically, as this is going on softly,
Yes.
Silas, if we are taking a short rest, Silas is just going to, life is like a hurricane here in this cave, and he's just quietly singing that song, and it will be a song of rest. That if anyone is spending a hit die, you can spend an extra 1d6.
Oh, excellent.
I like it. Okay.
Robin is gonna take this rush. She wants to investigate, because in her brain,
Mm-hmm.
there better be a clue here.
So,
Uh-oh.
so you're gonna forego resting and instead
Yes.
spend the hour
Yes.
investigating. Okay, great. Well, let's figure. So Silas is gonna rest and sing. Neb,
I'm gonna rest, but I'm still feeling kind of icky. Is that okay? Am I gonna be okay if I just sit here and?
so
You
you
know.
are poisoned.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm asking. Is
Yeah, you can still resume hit points, but you have the poisoned conditions.
Would
So
something like an anti-venom make
Oh.
a difference?
something
from
like an
first aid
anti-venom
kit?
might make a difference if you'd like to try.
Yeah.
Sure. I do have some in my emergency kit.
Okay.
Oh,
So Maeve, are you going to rest and spend your rest doing this with Neb, or are you not going to rest?
Yes, I will go through my kit and get out some
Okay.
anti-venom.
And Fairuza, resting or not?
she's definitely gonna rest. I mean,
Okay.
she's overly hyper and excited, so she's just gonna sit down and she's gonna lean her back against like the slope in the gold.
Yeah.
And just say, well, as long as we're gonna rest unless anybody has any food here they want to give me, I'm just gonna take a nap.
Hold on a second. And I'll start reaching around for my bag, but then get distracted because ow.
Ow.
Yeah.
All right.
Give me, let me just, and I'll do the berry thing. I'll do the berry
Oh,
thing.
no.
Oh, thanks, Maeve. That feels a lot better.
Yeah,
I think I'm not applying it. I'm just handing it off.
just handing
I
it
don't
off.
really want to.
Then
I sort of like the same way that you're avoiding looking at your leg. I'm sort of like,
then I will take it and I will come and sit next to Fairuza in the gold and be like, well, if I'm gonna do this, might as well do this on the most expensive seat ever, right? And
As long as it
real
doesn't-
quick, sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
As long as it doesn't tax you to do those, does it like take energy out of you to do the food thing you do, the little berry thing?
Oh yeah, but then we get food. I mean, right? Then we get food, and food is good. I like
Food is
food.
good. And
Yeah.
honestly, like, as far as the seat goes, like I really did like one time almost buy the proverbial toilet seat made of gold. But then like I honestly knew that there aren't enough people that come to my home that they would ever enjoy it. So then I was like,
No.
what I'm saying is, as a collector, golden toilet seat would be interesting, but you only appreciate it if other people can appreciate your collection. And so maybe at the end of this, what I will do with some of this gold is, melt it into a toilet seat
Bunches?
made of gold.
Into bunches of toilet seats.
Maybe that's it.
Silas is taking a real turn into smelting and blacksmithship and
How many
Yeah.
toilet seats are in a bunch?
all right.
so
So
just,
Go ahead.
I'm looking at my first aid kit
Yes.
inventory. I actually don't have an anti-venom. I have iodine wipes. I have sting relief pads. I have
The heck? Oh,
tourniquets.
thank you.
I kind of stung
I have
a lot
burn
already.
cream.
okay.
I mean, yeah.
Unfortunately, I
I
don't
have
think any of that will
flares.
take care of the poison. What I'll allow is, if you'd like to use one of those things, we can add sort of like a D6 of healing or something.
Okay.
On top of Neb's, hit dice if Neb would like that. But the poisoned condition will stay
Okay.
We'll
until
say
a
it's
long
Sorry,
rest.
I didn't want to.
Yes, no,
use something I didn't
but
actually
let's.
Yeah,
I like the inventiveness of that, and I like if you're willing to sacrifice an item for healing, I'm all for it.
Sure.
So
What would you
as-
like me to use for that? And I will strike it from my.
I mean, burn cream sounds appropriate,
Burn cream?
right?
Okay.
That feels like what happened to you. You got acid burn.
I got acid burn. I got fire burn. I got a lot of burn.
You got a lot of
so
burn. That's right. You
yeah.
got fire burn. That's perfect. So,
Yeah.
we'll use one
So
of those.
I'm taking this from the bigger med kit. I also have
Okay.
a smaller med kit that
Okay.
also has it. So
Okay, so
I
very
have
good.
two. I have multiple kits
Multiple medkits.
for a reason. I promise it's all in there though.
So as the four of you are rolling your dice and getting that figured up, Robin, while they're resting and singing and healing up, where would you like to start? How do you want to sort of take on this task?
Well, to start, Robin is half-heartedly looking for a boot, or what might be left of it.
Investigation check.
That's the real investigation.
I
here.
will note also that in
Yes.
that med kit there is a sewing kit.
Okay.
I need that too, Robin.
So
I got a nat 20!
Okay. Robin, as you
awesome.
sort of go off, because you threw it sideways, right, at this thing, and it kind of
I-
ricocheted off of her. As you're kind of going around the side of kind of this rock in this pool, wedged down in some of the gold, you see your boot sticking out. Now the toe is still sort of, been acided away, and it
Chewed
looks
up.
it looks worse for wear. It's not really very yellow anymore. It's much more of a orangey brown, green a little bit in some places, but you have found your boot.
Robin
No.
picks it up and just says, I knew you'd come back to me. And it's gonna dust it off, double check the inside, and put it on.
You can see your toes
Yes,
wiggle
wiggle.
through the little tip of the boot. Since that took you like 3 minutes, what would you like to do next, Robin?
And as this is going on, if
Yes.
Silas, like as he's just kind of sitting there, understands that Miss Robin is looking around like that,
Yes.
he's also he's just going to kind of direct a few bars that might solve a mystery or rewrite history, Miss Robin, woo, and inspiration.
All right.
Great.
Where would you like to look now, Robin?
So, just so I'm understanding
Yep.
this room, we have the lip and the lip where you can jump
Yes.
across, and the golden. What's going on like the sides?
Okay.
How big is this
So
room?
the actual sides are just sort of sheer walls.
Okay.
In front of you is this sort of slope of this slate beach, for lack of a better word, is what I'll call it. It's sort of, a slope that rises up, and it meets the ceiling about, what did I say? Gosh, 60 feet back or something like that now. So, there's like this long sort of slow slope that heads back up and meets the ceiling way at the back. And you know that somewhere in all of that shale and slate, there is a hole that goes down to where the other three came up and where that one creature disappeared.
Come on, Robin, think. Maybe it's a puzzle. It's a think gold, pool of gold. I'm coming up with nothing here. All right. They already dug for stuff. They dug really deep. Maybe. And I think Robin is going to. I mean, so the walls are just slap. They're
The
just
side of the walls are just vertical walls. Then there's the floor that slopes up, and then the ceiling that meets it, way past that, the hole where the three of them came out.
Could it
Where
be
the
an
creatures-
illusion? Yes, I wouldn't put it past us to have an illusion here. Maybe the slate, if I climb on the slate, maybe I'll fall right through into a secret tunnel and okay, no, Robin, you've been in the dark for too long. All right. We're just gonna go digging, and she's gonna pick up her little shovel from her bag, and she's just gonna spend the whole hour just shoveling, and she's gonna do it systematically where she's gonna kind of
Grid
start.
search.
Yeah, she's gonna start from one side and kind of push it
Okay,
all
and this is digging in the gold or digging in the shale?
the gold.
In the gold. Okay. So as you all are resting, you just see Robin. She
Once
sort of moves around. Yeah.
Once I
We're
finish
terrible
up bandaging
people.
my leg, I'll look over at Fairuza and say, "Wait, we should help." And I'll just start like picking up a piece,
Yeah.
throwing it. And...
So I see Robin and Neb doing that. I
Yeah.
want to pick up 5 pieces of gold.
Mhm.
And I want to, thinking about the throwing of Neb's rock
Yes.
and things, I'm actually thinking about skipping stones.
Yes.
And so we have some instructions about skipping things, and we don't know what they do yet, but maybe I will try and skip a rock. So I need to skip 2 and step left. So you never know what the
Maeve.
solutions
You
are
never
here,
know.
and why not
Maeve,
give it
that
a try?
is genius. I bet you're gonna crack it with that.
All right.
So-
So yeah, give me sleight of hand, I guess. This is sort of a dexterity skipping stones thing. Skipping.
Gotta find good skipping stones, nice flat.
You got time.
So it's an 18.
Okay.
Ooh.
So as you fling these really beautiful flat, stones sort of up this slope, and they skip, and then they sort of bang onto the very sort of ceiling at the pitch way at the back. They go all the way down past that 60 feet, kind of up, skipping along the edge, and sort of settle up there. It's interesting. Some of the shale seems to sort of fall down from that place, but the stone stays up at kind of the corner where the wall and the slope meet.
We can see this happen.
You can see it, you can hear it, yeah.
Robin, you should always listen to your first instinct. And she's gonna try to climb.
Just climb right up. All right. It is a dexterity check to climb this thing. It is quite slippery and shaly.
Okay, 16.
16. So you begin climbing. You're making a little bit of noise. The stones are, clattering under your legs, but you are able to climb. The others are, still mostly resting, but you follow the path of Maeve's stone. Maeve, do you want to go with her? Or are you going to stay back in the pool?
We'll go with her.
Go with her. So yeah, give me a dexterity check as well.
Like, how far away from us is this getting now?
They're going to get about 60 feet away from you.
And then-
Still in the room.
Yes. Sorry, what'd you get, Maeve?
19.
19. So as you're going with Robin, you're also able to direct her so that she does not go down the hole that you're aware of. You had a pretty good memory of where you came out and where this other creature fell down. And as the two of you are climbing, and you can kind of see now, as you pointed out, Maeve, where the stone, it's covering some of it, but there's a little rise, and you can see where that hole is as it goes kind of down into the rest of the stone beneath, and you crawl past it, continuing up. As you get to the top, you can see right at the top there is a little ledge where your skip stone has stopped, and on it are some letters.
Yay!
Will you please share level 2
Wicked.
cave letters,
Yay!
please, with the team? It'll show up there. We'll bring it into chat or something where all of our players can see it as well.
Yay! Is it?
Yep. Josh is working on it. It's coming.
I'm assuming as soon as you find, like,
Yes.
do the two of you?
I
scream out or
can
something?
read it out here, yes, as well. So we see KDM. Here it is. KSF XXPVFE.
XXPV.
Wait a minute. Let's see if we can. Is it in?
Maeve and Robin, yes, do you share loudly enough your discovery?
Oh, this is exciting, but we should let them rest, right?
1 second.
Maeve immediately takes out her notebook. She's lying on her stomach with her head. Both of your heads are right in the little crawl space here at the top, right? Holding on to the shale on your bellies. So all the rest of you can see is like just their lights facing the wrong direction, and a little bit of the light comes around. Maybe you can see Robin's boots kind of excitingly moving a little bit from behind as Maeve scribbles in her notebook.
And Silas is just kind of like, just barely raising his voice, and he's like, hey, remember, MJ said, stay reachable, stay in touch, don't isolate.
So yes, Maeve, what do you decipher?
I look at it and I cross-reference the letters, and I come up with, using the keys Steve, I come up with skip 1, turn L for left.
All right.
Or last, or anything else, you never know.
Or turn for laughs.
No.
So what?
Turn LOL.
Turn for losing.
Is this our last clue? I can't remember.
So
These are
yes.
all 4 levels that the rats told you. I love that this whole quest is on the information of a rat.
If you can't trust a rat, then who can you
can't.
trust?
Oh,
Named
Maeve.
Nicholas.
Maeve, this is amazing. What do we do now?
I suppose we skip 1 and then turn left.
Where?
Did you find it?
We did. So
Ah,
in order, we have the following.
Are you, do you
I
slide back down? Or
I
are
don't
you
mean to be that guy or
Cautiously,
anything.
like,
cautiously
like,
sliding back down,
Maybe we should
avoiding
talk about this
the
in the
hole.
other cavern that is much more defensible. Because what if more of these little Morlock creatures come after
weren't you
us?
the one that wanted to stay here? And
Just to get the clue. Just to get the clue. We got the clue. You did an amazing job. But maybe let's not talk about it right here.
sounds like a
The
plan.
hour is now up, we'll say. You have had your rest. The other two have done their investigations and their help of healing. You are all back in the pool of gold. You, as of now, don't hear anything.
Yeah, I think it's really quiet, almost too quiet.
Famous last words.
Too quiet.
So I can't wait another second. So our entire clue, what does it say?
We have skip 2, step left. Skip 1, turn left. Skip 3, don't slip. Turn right, step, skip.
Oh, it
It
rhymes.
Oh my goodness, we're doomed.
Yeah.
Steve must be so
Nerdy
proud.
DM wrote
Some
this
kind of
one.
devious mastermind put that together.
But now the question is, where do we do this? Well, is this
Well,
a dance we
need-
perform somewhere?
We need a flat place and some chalk so we can draw all the squares on the ground like they do on the sidewalk. This sounds like one of those, right?
I still think we should
Yeah,
just try it up in the
hopscotch.
first cavern.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And we should just try it on every level after that.
Is there a place that we haven't been yet?
Well, we went to
Or-
this one place that got flooded.
Would you like to make an intelligence check for a hint, Robin?
Yes.
Since you asked the question. Just a straight intelligence check.
Come on, give me something good. Nah, it's a 10.
It's a 10? Okay. I'm still
Okay.
going to give you something on it. Okay. So as you sort of scale your mind back, you can't remember what, but you just have this sinking feeling. There is at least one or two places you have not explored.
You know what they say about caves is,
What
well,
do
you
you say?
probably haven't explored the whole thing. And that's the gist of
That's
it.
what they
Well,
say.
yeah.
That's what they say.
Remember, there's that crevice with the rusty piton.
Ah,
That we
yes.
haven't been down
Oh, yeah, that death trap.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
well,
there's also whatever's on the other side of the hole there.
I mean, if
I don't
I
think
was
that's true.
playing a video game, I would go to the
You
bottomest
are
level.
you a gamer, Miss Robin?
I mean, I have played my Pong in the days.
Yeah.
I like the idea
Wow.
that like Robin's like a Donkey Kong world
Yeah.
champion or something like that. Just
Yeah.
randomly
Duck
her
Hunt
name is in
Master.
there.
I thought
Oh
I
my
saw you in that
God.
documentary about Donkey Kong. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, no, that's a great idea. We go to the deepest part of the cave now, and that's where we'll see some sort of altar or something, right? Right, Silas? That's how it works.
Yeah.
altar.
Yeah. That's exactly how it works.
I'm just like the idea of an altar.
That,
It's like
not
an
a word I
altar
would
to
like-
the blood gods.
yeah. Altar has a connotation I don't like, but at least we'd find something. But I agree with Silas. We should probably go back up to our camp first.
Okay.
And Neb just looks over at where the hole is. That there might be more of these Morlocks coming out.
All right,
Here,
do you think
Fairuza.
you can walk?
Yeah. Thanks to
Yeah.
Maeve and giving me a little bit, and Fairuza help. And
Yeah.
if you'll let me,
Yeah.
I'll
Of
like
course.
use your hand and shoulder and stand up. And
Mhm.
it's gonna be painful for a while, but she can walk now at least.
Okay.
Do you want to piggyback? I mean,
You know what? That's really nice. Not yet, but I
Okay.
might take you up on that offer when we
You
get.
didn't get to
a little
slingshot the wolf puppy.
I will
But you can
turn.
piggyback Neb.
I will turn into a wolf so we can do that at some point. But for now, I think let's just go.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
So the plan is to return to your camp in
Camp.
the highest level of this cave.
Yes.
Okay. So we can move that along. Say there, you're not. There are no dangers. You have taken care of the mini ichor in this particular tunnel. You make your way back, climb up the ropes. Neb, you are helped. You can take your time to do this, even if it takes a few hours, and make it back to your headquarters. We're going to say it's mid-late afternoon now. You guys have spent a significant amount of the day. I mean, you went out early this morning on a side quest of terror. You came back and had a long conversation about plans. You then made your way down, had a big battle, then you rested and found things. You have had a day. So now at 3-4 in the afternoon, maybe you've returned back to your sort of headquarters up top.
Have any of our belongings been messed with or touched?
They look
Is
the same to
everything-
you.
Okay. No
Maybe
footprints the
maybe
size of a
like some of
10-foot
the
statue.
wrappers from some of your food have been moved, but you see the rats responsible for that. They give a little nod to Neb as they
Mm. Well, I don't see any 10-foot statue footprints, so I think we're doing okay.
It's still a beautiful day out there. The
Fairuza,
storm is stopped.
Do you want to look for more tracks from your moose? Maybe your moose came back while we were gone?
I would
Or
love to.
its zombified form.
Or its zombified form, sure.
Something, I mean, wasn't there a lake or something nearby here so we can clean up a little bit?
There
I
are
still
2
have
creeks.
blue blood on me.
You do. You look badass. But yes, there are the 2 creeks that are at the bottom of the rise, just outside the cave mouth.
So maybe I can look for
Yeah,
my
take a
little buddy.
bath. What a novel idea. How many days has it even been?
Now
Yes,
it's
in
freezing
the
cold
freezing
out there.
cold
Yeah.
water that was frozen over.
I hold up my hand, which is still kind of, it's all messed up, but it froze from the lake a little bit and it's a little bit better. But I go, I took a bath this morning.
Well, I mean, maybe we just go get some water and bring it back in here where it's a little bit warmer. I'm just saying that everybody has gotten very ripe at this point in time. I mean, I'm sure I'm the worst.
Looking
so I'm not
around,
pointing fingers.
you are covered in dirt and mud and dust and blood. Some of yours, some of others. You all look very adventure-y. Adventure chic.
Yeah, I think we might feel better if we just clean up a little bit. And
Nature's
Fairuza does
dry
that.
shampoo.
Yeah, it's like blue. She's sort of I don't. And she does she just starts wiping her, and she does this, and when she does that, she leaves this blue trail almost on her face without realizing it. She's like this. Yeah, it's just everywhere.
And actually, Neb, maybe some cold water on your wound might help.
I'm willing to give anything a try. I don't know how hard it's going to be to carry buckets of water, but
well, is there water in here? Isn't there water we came across? Well, I guess that was at the bottom.
With the creatures living in
with
it.
the little
We know them.
Yeah, that was not a
The
good
flood.
water.
You could go to the flooded cave for water. That was pretty dirty, but yeah.
That was yesterday's bath.
We can boil the water. Yeah.
I mean, I got fire. We can make a fire. It's just getting the water up here, but I'm game.
Well, hey,
to
we've
try
got all
it.
kinds of water right outside the door. It's called snow. And so we can just shovel some snow in here, and then it'll melt and it becomes water. I remember that from science class.
Just don't get any of the yellow snow. That's all.
I'm just saying, can't we get some water like that? As long as we've got the fire?
That's true.
I will start to build
Okay.
another campfire so that we have a place to melt snow.
Chores.
Um,
D&D.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna use my strength and try to build a bathtub out of rocks.
Okay.
I love D&D so much. Yes.
So, okay. So with what you have here in terms of rocks and things, so you want to make a well, basically.
Something, some sort of something that can hold the water. Otherwise, we're just I don't know. Something.
Okay. So, let's do like a history check, something like that, to sort of determine if you have the engineering skills
Oh boy.
to build something watertight.
I thought you were gonna say, let's see if you remember what a bathtub looks
No.
like. I was gonna say, oh,
It's
very
been a
funny.
while.
Very funny. Okay, hold on. Let's see. A 4.
A 4. So you start bringing, rocks up and sort of, placing them in a circle, but there's big holes in the side. It's hard to figure out how to make this so that the water won't fall out. So it's not looking like a real successful bathtub. You've seen some really pretty like mosaic rock bathtubs. This isn't really living up to the
Hey, maybe we
Instagram.
should take one of these tents and just flip it upside down. Isn't it supposed to keep water out? If we flipped
A
it upside
tent?
down and like tied it
Is
down
she using
somewhere?
the tarp?
The tarp would work.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So Silas, in this sort of basin that Fairuza has created with the rocks that is not watertight, you then throw the tarp inside and kind of stuff it down and are able to create a not, you've created a pretty serviceable sort of basin within that.
Kiddie pool.
Little kiddie pool, exactly.
Works for me.
You do have things like, buckets and things around. This is this was a mine. There are things like that. You're going to collect some snow and start melting it in your pots and so forth. That's the idea.
Yes.
All right. We're going to do a, take an hour and say that you build a fire, you bring in buckets, you melt the snow, you pour it in the tarp basin, and you've got a shallow, but not freezing cold little bath there, the little basin of water.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do this 5 times so we all get fresh water, right? It's disgusting. I'm like just thinking about it.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
just-
not going last
We'll
otherwise.
just
Yeah.
keep the pipeline going, right?
Okay.
And the
Right.
next, so there's always, because it's gonna leak a little bit, but
Yeah.
we'll keep it going. It'll be like those old school hot tubs that you just have to every once in a while put some more in.
Top off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maeve's digging through her bag and grabbing shaving cream and
Yeah.
shampoo and razor.
Little bottles of
I'll
shampoo.
go last, and Silas is just going to keep like, piling up snow somewhere,
Okay.
close by.
Keeping the assembly line running.
And he
so-
is doing this also like mostly telekinetically, where he doesn't get tired.
Gotcha.
And so He's gonna do some in his own arms, but then he's gonna do most of it 60 pounds at a time. Bring it in.
So Fairuza, it sounds like you're up first.
Yeah.
How does it feel to sort of finally clean a little bit and get the grime out from under your nails and
It
the
is
blood off of your face from your first kills?
It is like the end of anime TV show, any anime series show. It's like really long, and they always have the characters like flying through flowers and things. It has nothing to do with the show, but it's literally like an anime. Like you see Fairuza, but like she's naked, but like her naughty bits are like
Oh,
covered
they're
up with,
perfectly
like,
covered by tree branches.
clovers.
Yeah.
just like
Clovers.
her hair is like slow motion. And she washes her face, but for some reason the streaks on her face are there, but they're just faded. And she's like, "Oh, this is amazing." And she just sort of sighs and sits down in the shower, and then she's just sort of doing this like in the tub, like all by herself because she's in her head right now. And she just sort of cleans her nails, and she's folded up in this tub because she's so tall,
Yeah.
and she feels like this is really all right. And then she's like, comes back to reality, and she's like, all right, I'll get up. Silas, close your eyes.
Not looking at a thing.
All right. And she like
Not
stands up and reaches for her clothes, sort of. And she's like, well, the pants aren't too bad, but the shirt, well, yeah, I think. And she just tries to spot clean the shirt a little
Uh-huh.
bit. And then she just climbs out, puts back
No,
on.
not a change of clothes.
I've got, nothing's gonna fit you, but I've got a couple shirts. And
Oh no, I'm
jeans.
fine.
Definitely
It's
not gonna
I'm
fit
just
you.
surprised no one thought to
Oh,
put
I do.
clothes in their pack.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hmm?
You know what? Can you hand in my bag? There's
Yeah.
there's a
And I
there's a
walk
pair
over
of-
and I try and lift Fairuza's bag and sort of like
just throw the pants. It's like a pair of cargo pants in there. I brought them like on a whim, not thinking I would ever be caught in cargo pants.
I open it up and I start taking out axe.
Gavel.
Legal textbooks for spelunking. Okay.
A little light
Very
reading, you know.
important.
Yeah,
Tort
you know.
law is a good light reading. You know what I mean?
Helps her sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I grab
Fairuza's
something and I-
feeling a bit more refreshed.
This was amazing, you guys. We should try to take baths more often. And she's gonna walk over and just put the little like boiler suit down, and she's gonna look at herself and say, "Are you guys' clothes shrunk a little bit at all, or is it me?"
You do look a little more buff.
Are you trying to say I gained weight? That's very rude, Deb.
No, I think I said buff, like muscles.
Oh, maybe it's from
Yeah.
all the work we've been doing. Maybe I've just been, working out. I've never been someone to go to the gym or anything, so this is new for me. Maybe I am getting a little buff.
I mean,
Okay.
you've
I mean, I think you're a little bit taller too. Like, how tall are you?
I was 6'1" when we walked in here. I think I'm still
Walked in where? Like this cave or like the train? Or
when we walked into
Do you
all of this
regularly
mess.
change your height there, Silas?
well, no, that's what I'm trying to say. She looks taller, and then Silas like stands up next to her,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I'm 5'11" and a half, okay, and so like unless I've shrunk, you look
Do you have a
taller than
tape measure?
6'1" to me."
Back to back.
Robin, do you have a tape measure?
I don't.
Not in your sewing kit.
Nope.
It might have one. It might be one in the sewing.
Well, like
kit.
just use
But
cubits,
it's only
right?
going to be like 3 feet.
Yeah.
So
we'd have
it's going to
to
be like
3, and then
just
put
hold
another
this
one.
here, put your thumb there. And
All right.
So Fairuza,
Okay.
you appear to be a good 4 inches, maybe 5 inches
let's
taller
see.
than Silas now.
Oh yeah, she's 6. She's 6'4" now.
4.
so you've grown 3 inches.
In
What?
2
I wish I was a
days?
little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
I mean, if you think about that tonight, maybe you can manifest that tomorrow for yourself.
Well, actually, I don't
What?
care. Like, I'm happy with my height, but you just grew like 3 inches, and like I think you're probably too old for a growth spurt. So it must be something in this water. Everybody take a bath and see what happens.
Okay, I'm gonna get. What if I never stop growing? What if I'm like 9 feet tall by the time we get out of here?
That would be
Just
very
put me on
inconvenient for
myself
A new
doors and
Guinness
things.
record.
Yeah, but otherwise it would be awesome.
And then Gwendolyn Christie can maybe come in and play you. And
Yeah.
I'll take that, but as long as I'm done, it's 6'3". I'm not gonna think about that right now because my shoes need to
I
fit.
thought it was 6'4".
I'm 6'4".
I thought that's what you
Okay.
said.
As long as it's 6'4", as long as I'm not getting into having 6'4",
You know what?
I'll deal with this.
Well, let's
What?
do this. Let's do this scientifically. And I'm going to hobble up to you and I'm going to
Yeah.
stand up against the rock, stand up against the
Okay.
wall, like nice and straight. We'll do this like my
Okay.
mom used to. And I'll just grab an actual just piece of rock around that has a sharp enough point, and I
Uh-huh.
will hold it to Fairuza because there's no way I'm getting above her head.
Okay.
Make like a mark in the rock that's, obvious. And then we'll check you the next time we think about it.
Okay.
Okay.
She does what Neb says and marks it on the wall. Steps away.
Now there's only one place in this cave where you can do that because this is a pretty low area. You've had to hunt even when you first came in. The only place where you can fully stand is towards the back where that mine shaft is. That gets tall enough. So you find a spot back there and, line yourself up, score a little line over the top of your head. And it's only a couple inches from the top of the ceiling here.
Hey, we need to do this for everybody though, just in case the water does this to us too.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. And I
I'd
will-
love to be taller. I mean, at my age, you start to hunch a little bit and you start to shrink. It's-
So there's now 5 markings on the wall with your initials next to them.
What if the
Maeve,
bath has a
age
different effect?
21.
21.
She's not 21. She's 22.
And honestly, as this is going on, once the snow, like there's enough
Yeah.
snow, like Silas is actually, anytime he's in this room, is going to be taking, some of his, he had like pens and all kinds of things in his
Mhm.
bag, and he's going to be drawing everyone, like after their mark is there, he's going to be like filling in the space under that, drawing them like they look right now,
Pictures,
like a mural.
Yeah, like the Egyptians. If someone finds us, and they'd be like, maybe.
Yeah, it's going to be super rough to begin because he understands he's not going to have a lot of time. But then, like, if we end up spending any additional time here, he's going to keep filling in the rough sketches.
Would anyone else like to have a significant bathing experience?
Silas absolutely would, but he will go last.
He's going to go last. So
I would like to bathe as well.
Yes.
And wash my hair. I want to shave. It feels really nice to be able to shave.
So yeah, you just see a foot stick up and the razor.
And when Maeve gets out of the bath, her hair is pretty. You can see it's pretty wavy and curly and messy, and she pretty hastily starts to braid it back and sort of winces a little bit as she braids it back. I think I hit my head back there.
Your hair is looking really curly. I mean, it was curly to begin with, but it's looking.
Do you have a curling iron with us? Because otherwise, it's gonna do this.
I mean, it looks real nice. So
it looks nice. It's
Thanks.
just
yeah. It's also very cold in this weather to have it wet.
Come near the fire.
And I go near the fire and there is something I would like to do while Silas bathes.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Noted.
This is great.
Noted. Robin and Nev, would you like to have a significant bathing experience?
Robin, would you like to go next? You want me?
Of course, you go next. Be sure to wash your leg. It's very important.
It's disgusting. Yeah.
Nasty.
And Neb will have a significant bathing experience. She is not shy.
This is what we're calling it.
Yeah,
that's the name of the story. A significant bathing moment. That
This is the name of the episode.
You can also just be like, I can't.
That's what I'm going to start saying to my wife, like after a hard day or something. I'm about to go have a significant bathing experience.
Have a significant bathing experience.
There's too many titles for this episode. Stop being so creative.
Robin, I'm going to go have a very cold, significant bathing experience. And yeah, she will. She has she's not worried about anyone seeing her. She could strip off all the dirty clothes. It's filled with mud and everything.
They're all
she's got
ripped up in acid washed.
And it's jeans and a socks and a black t-shirt and her jacket, and the clothing she'll pull out of her pack to replace it when she gets clean is another pair of jeans, another pair of socks, and another black shirt. It's just not very creative.
Might I give you something else? Would you like I have a spare jacket, and I take out another leather jacket. Might be a little bit more protective here, since you're crawling through things and over
you will
things.
notice that her leather jacket is quite thick and will give you an AC boost.
Is that a thing? AC is a thing? How does that happen?
Yeah. So I have one that I've been wearing, and then I have a second one that I brought as a change, which I am happy to.
I'll look at my leather jacket, which is like a long trench coat style, but is definitely not AC worthy. And it's got like a big chunk out of the shoulder and half of the side is ripped off.
If you like your style, I mean, I prefer not to cut this up. But
no, let's find some way to fix this. And because we're gonna. I mean, I could always just turn back into a wolf. I should probably do that more often. It seems like that's going to be the way that I'm going to survive this, right? And she's still just like doesn't care.
Well, and Neb, as you're cleaning, the bruises and the cuts. I mean, you've taken quite a beating on these last few days, and as you start to sort of look at things, but even you tell me, but as a kid who hasn't quite ever been on an adventure before, sort of seeing all of the evidence of what you've been through, what does that mean to you?
There's half of her which is not disturbed but worried, because she's never been anywhere near this banged up. Like she was a fairly safe child, didn't really go running, jumping, climbing trees. And then it's slowly turning to like this weird fascination, like, And then she'll just give her back a good scratch and then finally wash herself off and change and then hobble back over to the fire and go, yeah, that feels a lot better. Yeah. I wonder if I have to wash myself as a wolf.
I think they just lick themselves.
I would rather not. You know what? There's a lot of things that I'm willing to do when I change into a wolf, and I feel like that's not one of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
you gotta
a
wait
line.
until you're a wolf to see how you feel,
line.
you know?
Right,
Well,
Robin,
have
the
that-
bath is free. Sorry, Neb, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, we'll cross that bridge next time I come to being a wolf.
Robin is not going to have a significant bathing
Bathing experience. A very insignificant bathing experience.
Robin is just going to wash her hands and her face, and she's gonna be inspecting everyone's, clothes and like making sure nobody has holes and seeing that everybody seems to have a change of clothes and seems okay. I don't know what Silas is gonna do.
Yeah, Silas has no pants at the moment. But
Yeah, what are the conditions of his? What's going
So
on?
he's had both legs. Oh, you fixed the one leg,
Yeah.
right? That is but the other leg now has been eaten through. Neb's pant, one leg has been eaten through. Everyone's got holes and things where they hit rocks or things like that. But yeah, there's embroidery work for you if you would like it.
Then while Silas is gonna bake his thing, Robin will take her bag, and her bag you'll see is a very mismatched patches, and it's kind of very eclectic cloth that's made this bag. It's very like handmade, and she's gonna lift up the flap, and you'll see that it's kind of double-sided, so that there's a pattern on both sides, and she's just gonna begin ripping the inside layer, and she's gonna use that as patches on Silas's pants and also on her own overalls on her hip that burned away.
Right.
So she's gonna start patching it up with her bag.
As you watch. All right. So Silas, Robin's going to work on your pants while you are having your significant bathing experience. What is your significant bathing experience?
Silas is going to he doesn't like to be alone, and he doesn't like to be in silence, and so as he's doing it, he is basically just kind of mumbling the whole time, and kind of acting like he's talking to everyone, but he also knows that they're probably not listening, and that's okay to him. But he's just kind of saying, he finally lays back, and he doesn't take off his hat at first, so he is unclothed except for the hat, and he's just kind of laying back in this thing, and he's just like, MJ said, relax and never think about what's at stake. Just think about the basketball game. And he's trying to, and he's like quiet for just a second after that. And he's like, and actually, like, and he starts talking again. And then eventually, like, as this is going on, if anybody happened to glance in the general direction, not that anybody's going to be, trying to stare or anything, but they might see for just the briefest moment, almost like kind of flickering in and out, like one of those like curtain stalls, like those circular curtain stalls, like curtains are kind of just covering where Silas is, but it's just for like fleeting little seconds here or there, and Silas doesn't even know he's doing it.
Curtains, like shower curtains?
Yeah, like shower curtains. Yes.
Like as if it were an old-fashioned bathtub.
Yes.
Curtains.
Yes.
You made this into a clawfoot tub, and now you got
Wow.
But again, it doesn't stay. It's like it's kind of flickering in and out occasionally.
So
While
Maeve,
Silas is bathing,
note.
may I want to grab a couple of like makeup wedges or socks out of my bag and tuck them under his insoles, so the next time he puts on his shoes, he will have grown.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Because he has now said that he wants to be taller.
Fantastic.
Adam, first of all, Adam, are you okay with me playing a prank on you with this? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
prankage has been accepted. Silas, you are absorbed and, not wanting to maintain eye contact, I assume, with your party as you bathe. So this is a free, we'll give you a little stealthy, it'll be an easy one, but let's take a stealth roll.
Okay.
I mean, my passive perception is a 10. So.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's a dirty 20.
Okay, yeah. It would be about a 10 there anyway. So yeah, so pretty as Silas is absorbed in his significant bathing moment, you are able, yes, to slip some wedges of makeup wedges, apply, applicators, and things like that underneath the soles, the insoles of his shoes, so that they're just propped up the tiniest little bit.
And Silas does eventually get his
Yes.
hair. I want to specify that he takes the hat off.
And does eventually
cleans it off, but then he puts it, returns it
Yeah.
immediately.
Okay, sorry. Maeve.
I as I'm doing that, I think there's maybe some ice on the walls of the cave a little bit, and I just sort of see my reflection
Yeah.
kind of in that ice, sort of
Maybe
reflecting.
off you. The sun is starting to come down. It's now we're getting into the 5-6 p.m. hour, and the sun is beginning to set. And right as it is now, the reflection off of the snow as it sets behind the mountain is sort of starting to kind of light up the inside of this cave a little more brilliantly than it was before. And yeah, you can see your reflection pretty clearly in that ice.
And I just sort of look at it, and I'm sort of just taking a quick moment to sort of examine us in this and the way that we are reflecting back at ourselves through these experiences.
What do you see when you look at yourself?
I think I won't meet my own eyes.
Okay. Glancing past. For the most part, though, you're looking at people who are tired. But you guys tell me a bit of a sense of accomplishment. You do have a full set of clues after a very, very long time, and you are cleaner, somewhat refreshed as the night falls.
Robin, I know you're fixing that, but we said we were going to compare scars, and I'll lift up my shirt and
I'll do the same.
You show each other your scars. They're starting to heal really nice now. Definitely good talking points. Should you ever meet anyone outside of this party?
I think while we're resting and doing things, if she does that, then I'll start Robin will start pointing out other scars on her body. Oh, and this is the one I got this one time, and then just kind of going into stories.
Wow.
And
Start passing around a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Oh, yeah, the
Should have
coffee,
thought
that's
of it
right.
before the bath and taken the pain. Nothing better than a drink in the bath and a book
Are
and some
you
candles.
planning on long resting now, or did you want to do anything else before then?
Why don't we long rest? What do
I
you guys
say-
think?
Yeah, let's finish the night strong.
Yeah, make a few watches and
Okay.
get ready for tomorrow, because I'm sure we've got to go to the bottom of this mine shaft. That's going to be more running into the danger, right?
The bottom.
Yeah.
So I'm just checking. You are welcome to continue partying for a while if you'd like. I just wanted to see if there was other, what track we were on. But yes, you can continue to party. Don't let me stop the party.
Well, like
I'm
one thing.
I'm gonna stay up and drink for a bit.
Yeah,
because
stay up and
it's
drink.
been a long few days. And
Why didn't we think to bring more alcohol with us?
I figured there would be some on the train.
We were possibly too busy taking the things that were going to keep us alive in this frozen wasteland.
A glass of wine would keep us alive, Silas. In many
That will
ways.
improve the quality
saved people
of
on the
life, maybe.
Titanic.
And Neb is looking down at her leg, which looks a lot better, but it's still kind of gnarly.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have brought some of the vodka at least, sterilization
Something.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I have that too.
The next
That's
time I'm stuck in a cave, I'm bringing Maeve.
But Maeve and Robin,
Everything.
between the two of you, I feel like we've got everything covered.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I brought a book on tort law. I failed.
Kindred, you brought
Never
Kindred.
Tort
know.
is a cool word.
Tortious
Or-
conduct.
You know what? I'm wondering this. What if, since I'm getting taller, what if there's like getting shorter too? Like, what if you become like pocket size or something? Imagine if that's a
I
thing.
mean, can
I
I
mean,
get
it's like a
any shorter?
superpower. I mean, like somebody like Ant-Man can go little or big.
Oh, so
Maybe you can go little too,
you think
Fairuza.
we can control this?
I mean, I don't know. We've done a lot of really far out things.
Oh, to the high heavens! I don't want to get any shorter.
Oh
Do you want
no.
to check your heights? We have the measuring tape.
That's true. I don't
Yeah,
think
we've got the marks and
the
everything.
marks.
Oh, the marks. Oh, yeah. I meant to check myself before I wrecked myself over against the wall when I got out of the bath, because that
You mean
water
wreck
might
yourself
do it.
again?
Yeah, possibly. But that's what I'm saying, is that like everybody should probably check,
Okay.
after the bath. So
Everyone else's heights remain the same. You meet the same lines on the wall.
All right.
It
that's
wasn't
good.
magic water.
except for who? Did Silas look the same?
Yeah, Silas look. Oh well, I mean, everybody looks the same height against the wall. I mean, Fairuza made her mark after she realized
So
she was taller.
even after he has his shoes on, does he?
Oh, I'm
look the same?
sorry. Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
He
I'm
is definitely not
sorry. I'm
walking around here
sorry. I
barefoot.
already forgot. Bad DM. Bad.
No, that's okay.
There's a
Yes,
lot
I'm
going on.
sorry, Silas. You are like 3/4 of an inch taller, and only you would know that it is 3/4 of an inch.
Does this mean that, like,
What?
I don't know, Fairuza and I have more magic in our blood or something?
Are you taller too?
Yeah, like 3/4 of an inch at least.
You wished
Like a
for it,
whole
and it
3/4
seems
of an
like
inch.
Every time you wish for something, it seems to be just appearing for you.
Yeah. I mean, what if this power gets away from me though? Like, I do want everyone to everyone promise me, because Silas is a little into the drink a little bit at this
Okay.
point. I want
What drink?
everyone,
Where'd you get it? Just kidding.
Maeve.
everyone,
This
yeah,
flask?
everyone to just promise me
Okay.
that if my power, like if I start to take like an Anakin turn, like put me down. Don't pussyfoot around it like Obi-Wan. Like, put me down if I get out of control. Okay?
You mean if you go villain, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I fall to the dark side with this kind of power, I'm just saying that, like, I can dream hats into existence. What if my dreams all of a sudden start to be like dream of like a disastrous plague hitting this world or something? I'm just saying that kind of power going unchecked could be very, very dangerous.
Silas, if there's anyone that I trust to not be dreaming of a giant plague, or at least know how to fix it, it's you.
Listen, I don't
Was
know
that
if we can
shade?
control our
No,
plagues.
actually, Neb is like
It sounded
super
kind of
serious.
like
Yeah.
a compliment, like it was close enough anyway that Silas will just keep going with it. But I don't know why I'm referring to myself in the third person right now.
You've done
May-
a lot. You've done a lot of
Because
fixing.
you can't hold your liquor.
Maybe a
This
little
is
bit.
strong stuff.
I mean, it's been a while since I've been into the liquor. I stick to sweet tea most days. But I'm glad you had this, Maeve. You have been a true friend. I am so grateful for just the friendship. And at first I thought you didn't like me. Like, I really thought that you didn't like me.
Whatever would have given you that impression?
I don't know. It's like I felt like, maybe we got off on the wrong foot, maybe, or something. Like I probably said something. I don't even know what I said, but I'm sure I
Could
said
have been anything
something.
about lock picking or anything like that.
Lock picking? Oh, were you upset about that? I'm so. Hey, listen. I am really, really sorry about that. Genuinely. And he's like pouring on the like slightly inebriated stuff here, right? And so he's basically like, I really did not mean it that way. All it was, I think it was just, this isn't an excuse, by the way, but I think I was just really, really excited because I used to pick locks all the time. I stole so much stuff, and like, that's how I got rich. That's how I got rich, is I stole all this stuff and I like fenced it. And like, I got rich because I used to be like a thief.
What?
And then he's like, what?
You've been on the cover of Forbes and all those other magazines. And what's that other one? The Silicon Valley magazine. You've been on lots of magazine covers for what you've made. Bunches of money.
But that was after I changed names. And and Silas like catches himself and he's like, I mean, screw it. We're never making it back to that world anyway. Like, I mean, honestly, like seriously, like I don't think we're making it back there. So yeah, I mean, like, so I used to do that. And so I think I was just like really excited that you were like doing it, Maeve, and I was overbearing, and I apologize about that. I should not have done it. Clearly, you are more than capable of picking locks, blasting foes, anything else that has come across us so far.
I agree, but also Silas, is that how you knew how to like climb along the side of the train? And you had that really nice rope, and you were talking about rock climbing.
Oh, my rope.
Are you like one of those really famous but not famous cat burglar people who steal things like?
Let's just put it this way: have you ever heard of D.B. Cooper?
Wow, I think so.
Yeah, well, it didn't have the effect since you don't know who D.B. Cooper is, but
but Fairuza did a wow, and so I'll trust her wow.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, you know, when I said like a painting, like it was a Van Gogh.
Oh, which one?
Yeah, it was that one where he made a really ugly picture of himself.
And aren't there a couple of those?
Yeah, like it was one of those. I don't know. It was so much money. It was so much money.
I gotta know.
Well, I didn't. I mean, I was working with people.
So how do you steal a painting? Because those are big, right? Those are
very big.
How do you steal a
I
painting?
don't know if we have time for that right now. But
I'm not going anywhere.
Robin, roll an advantaged history check, please.
I will represent you in court, Silas, because we're turning you in as soon as we get back.
What? You're turning me in?
We're turning you in, but I will represent you.
20.
I don't think there's a conflict of interest.
You're gonna tattletale on me when we get back to civilization?
Maybe I won't. You're giving me bunches of money. I forgot that.
Listening to this, Robin.
So now you're complicit.
It's starting to ring a bunch of bells, even with the little bit of liquor that you've had. You're remembering newspaper articles, even Silas's face on the cover of something, and the sudden disappearance of a Silas Sorrell. As a notorious thief who seemed to just disappear.
Well.
So, what name do you want us to call you? If we're at the end of all things, then why not?
Well, I mean, no, Silas is my name. So
you didn't even change your name.
Well, not my first
have the
name.
same
Like
name.
there are lots of Silases out there. Like I knew that if I changed my first name, that I would never get used to being called whatever the new name would be. And so I was like, hey, it's going to be a lot simpler for me to keep up this charade if I continue with like my actual first name. But then I chose, a great last name. So, after a certain greatest of all time basketball player, if you weren't picking up on that. And so, yeah, like that was it. And so I worked for the FBI for a long time. After they caught me, which I kind of let them catch me because I was a little bit tired.
You were the catch me if you can kid.
I mean, a little bit, but then I was like, man, this is like, so basically once I got my money in a place that I knew that they couldn't touch it, then I would like turn myself in. And then I was like, hey, I'll work for you because I know how all these people do this. And he is like super drunk, right? So it's like he cannot hold his liquor at all. And so he's that's why he's isolated himself for years. And so then he's like, he's basically like, yeah, so like I informed for the FBI and I caught like a lot of people doing this stuff. And so I think that's all it was, Maeve, is like when you started doing that, it like awakened something in me and I was really excited, and it's like I wanted to do it myself, but you were like there, and so it's like, yeah, it was not cool at all, and I'm sorry for that, but I feel like I've said a little too much because Fairuza over there is saying she's going to turn.
Right amount.
Gonna turn
No,
us.
I need a lot more. You're still supposed to tell us, how do you steal a painting? What are those big? You can't just roll it up like into a ball or something.
Well,
because that would
no,
ruin it.
you do roll it up though. I did not steal the frame, so that's really
okay,
important.
alright.
The frame can be replaced. The the actual painting way harder to replace, and so which people I do have people that can do repros pretty well, but anyway, that's beside the point. So with the painting though, you do get it up, you roll it up, you make sure that it is in a waterproof case that was specially crafted by someone that I spent a lot of my other fortune, because before that I stole all kinds of comic books. So it's still now I didn't sell those. So I have Batman's first appearance. I have all kinds of I never see. Honestly, that's one of the reasons I was getting on this train, because this Yahoo on this train that I was going to get away from the group at some point was supposed to have an Action Comics one somewhere that they bought years ago, and no one has been able to get them to budge on it. And so I was trying to actually get my hands on that. And since I've been so bored lately, before I got on this trip, I was like, I'm going to go get the 5-finger discount on this Action Comics since they won't sell it. And so that's why I had the rope. That's why I had other paraphernalia with me, because that's what I was going to do. And instead we get sucked into another world.
In the middle of speaking, Silas, you're facing the outside of the cavern. Everyone else's, their back is to the opening as they're sort of looking at you slack-jawed, and you see the silhouette of a fox sitting in the cave opening.
Okay, don't everybody turn around suddenly.
Uh-oh.
But do you see that?
I will turn around suddenly.
And you all turn around suddenly. The rest of you see nothing. Silas, it turns and dashes off right as you raise your voice. You can't tell if they just missed it and it went away too fast, but the rest of you don't seem to see anything in the door.
What?
What did you see?
It was a fox. Listen, this part is going to sound wilder than anything that I've already told you here. But ever since I was a child, I have been seeing a fox everywhere I look. And that's how they got the idea for that Fleabag show, by the way. I know the producers on that show. And so one time they're like, oh, we're going to have this character just act like they see a fox everywhere. Right. And so, but this is something that has been happening to me my entire life. And I saw one earlier when we were fighting icicle creatures. I saw a fox.
A fox.
Yeah, but it's the orange kind. I don't even think this is their natural habitat. They would be the snowy kind with white fur, right? But it was an orange fox, and I see it everywhere that I go, and it was just here.
And what does it do?
I don't know. It just.
But you've seen it your whole life.
It stares at me. It looks judging a little bit. It's judging me.
I'm looking at you right now, knowing that you're a hardened criminal and didn't think till now to tell us about it.
I'm not a hardened criminal. I'm the softest criminal there is. That's the softest kind of crime. It's a victimless crime, right?
Except for all of the people who would have been going to see the paintings.
Well, no, they can see it in this other person's collection in, I don't know, Kuwait or something, wherever it got sold. It's
Kuwait notoriously easy to visit.
People are still enjoying it, is my point. And it made me so rich, bunches of money.
Bunches of money. Do you think your fox knows Fairuza's moose?
Oh my God.
I don't know. It does seem like there are all
hummingbird.
kinds of animals going on in this thing.
Yeah, or the hummingbird, or Harold? Yeah.
Oh, are we all going to get an animal? This is exciting.
I think I am an animal.
Maeve is next.
But wait.
Yeah, Maeve, what kind of animal do you want?
Yeah, what kind? I do kind of want this before I ask my question. Maeve, what animal?
Before we even get into that, does anybody else here have any crimes they want to confess to? Has anybody killed anyone they want to throw it out there while we're having coffee?
No.
Maeve?
Well, I mean, I also killed somebody one time, so. I did. It was self-defense, though. It really was. When you tried to give me that axe before?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, not gonna have an axe. So I can't stand the sight of blood, and there's a reason for that. And it wasn't quite an axe, but maybe it was a katana.
What?
Yeah, like it was in my collection, and so no, really, I'm being serious. Like, listen, I'm bearing my soul because we're not going to make it out of this place. And so ultimately, what happened was somebody broke in because maybe I stole something from them, perhaps. And
Were they breaking into their own home?
No. It was my home at that point in time. But here was the thing. I gave it back to them. I gave them back what I stole. And I said, hey, no harm, no foul. Because, that's what MJ used to say too. And so with no harm, no foul, I don't actually know if he said that, but it's kind of a well-known saying in basketball. So he probably said it at some point. But ultimately, they left after that. But then the problem is that didn't satisfy them. And so for years, some mafia-connected people tried to come at me.
What?
And this is when the FBI, I was working for the FBI. And so one time, they got me when I wasn't prepared. They didn't know that I had the katana on the wall back there. It wasn't just for show. And so things went very, very south, and they died. But I just know that I didn't die. But I will say it completely broke me and shook me. And I haven't touched a weapon since then. Not a gun, not anything. And that's why I left the FBI and started to just be put out to pasture, and the pasture being, the world's largest comic and game store.
But wait, who gave you your ticket again?
My pop's grandfather.
And in the silence of this,
Neb's eyes are wide, and she is
Maeve
just eating it all
I think
up.
it's time for you to drink some water now, and hands you some water.
Yeah.
You
What's with the
hear
towels?
the hooting of a snow owl outside, and we will call this chapter to a close. Thank you everyone for being here for episode episode 19 is the last one, was 8.5 is chapter 19 of Children of Éarte. And please remember that life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale, especially if you are Silas.
Best
Good night,
story
everyone.
ever.
Bye, everyone.